So you've got your Phantom wallet. Now let's go and do a quick little tour and show you all the features of this fantastic wallet. Let's start with the hamburger menu. This is called a hamburger menu, the 3 horizontal lines. Here we have 2 different wallets. Both these wallets are connected to the seed phrase, the secret recovery passphrase. If we create another wallet by going down here to add connect wallet, we can create a brand new account. Here we can rename it. In a future video, we'll cover staking. So we'll call this staking. Then we can click create. To change between our accounts, we just go back to the hamburger menu and click on the one that we want. Easy like that. Let's go back to the hamburger menu. We'll go back to the plus button. In other videos, we'll cover the Ledger hardware wallet. But if you click on this, this is where you'll connect your Ledger hardware wallet. Okay, so back into Phantom, hamburger menu, back to add connect wallet. If we click on import secret recovery phrase, we can add another secret recovery phrase. Normally, these will just be 12 words, but sometimes they'll also be 24 words, in which case, add them here. You can add any secret recovery phrase. However, never add a Ledger wallet or an offline storage wallet seed phrase. Also, secret recovery phrase and seed phrase, they mean the exact same thing. Back into Phantom, back to add connect wallet, and our final option is import private key. We can import another Solana private key. I'll show you how to do that quickly. If we go to our wallet, like this one, and click on show private key, type or paste in our password, click this button, and next, this will reveal our private key. If we were to copy this, we could import it into another wallet. So if you use 2 different secret recovery phrases, one on your phone with Phantom and one on your computer with Phantom, but you want to share a private key in between them, you can use this method. What I would do, and not financial or security advice, is I would copy this here, then I'd go to 1Password, new item, add crypto wallet, label it, then change this to private key. I would paste it and I would add a new label, address. I would copy the address and paste it, and then click save. Now we have our private key and we have our address. And with the 1Password application on your phone, you can then import this private key. Back to the hamburger menu, we've covered adding and connecting wallets. Now we can go and manage accounts. If we use one wallet more often, we may want to move it to the top. We can change the order very easily. And I'll also cover this in another video, but I like to have multiple accounts. Quite often about 10, and I label them individually. Now let's go to settings. Clicking on the account, we can see the account name, and we can change it here. We can see the account address. If we click on it, it copies it. If I click send, Solana, paste in the address, we can see it was in fact copied correctly. We can also access that menu by just clicking here, and we can click show secret phrase and put in our password. This part is very important. Never share the secret recovery phrase with anybody else. By the time you see this video, there'll be no crypto in this wallet, and that's the only reason I'm sharing it. If we want to remove this account from our wallet, we can just click remove account and then click remove. As it says, you will be able to rederive it using your mnemonic in this or another wallet. Once again, mnemonic is the same as a seed phrase or secret recovery phrase. They all mean the same thing. Back to settings. We have the option of adding an address book. If we use addresses regularly, we can add address. Or maybe a friend, Sally Weber. Paste in the address. We only ever copy and paste addresses. We never ever freehand type them. And here it is. Address added. I'll show you how to use that shortly. Now security and privacy. If we want to change our password, this is where we do it. But if you think it's compromised in any way, change it that very moment. The password on your browser extension or on your mobile app only protects it locally on that device. So if I take the secret recovery phrase and use it on another computer, I do not need your password. I can create a new one. Same thing if you take the secret recovery phrase and put it on a different computer, you can set a new password. It only protects and encrypts the data locally on the computer or phone that you're using. Next is auto lock timer. I find 15 minutes is a good amount for an auto lock timer. Although if you're finished using your wallet, you can click on the back button and just click on lock wallet. This will lock it immediately. I'll copy my password from 1Password, and just to show you, this is how secure it is. Back to Phantom and unlock. Download application logs. You may need to download these if you're having any technical difficulties. And this is also where you create a ticket. Creating a ticket is the only way to get support from Phantom. They do not help you on Instagram or Twitter, Discord, Telegram, Reddit, anything. This is the safe and only place to get support. You must do it through the application, and the website is help.phantom.app. Share anonymous analytics. You can toggle this on or off. I spoke recently to the head of support at Phantom that I used to work with. You can check the terms and conditions as well, but they're not connecting any data specific to you. This next button is Reset App. If you do this, make sure you've got backups of your secret phrase and any private keys that have not come from or been derived from the secret phrase. There's lots to be learnt in crypto, but I'll always explain it really simply. When it comes to secret phrases and private keys, I have a video specifically on this. The most important thing is making sure your secret phrase or secret phrases are in safe places and are 100% correct. The next part is active networks. At the moment, it's on Solana only. If you plan on playing on Ethereum or Polygon, you can enable multi-chain. Then it's basically the same, with the only difference being we have 3 different addresses. The Ethereum and Polygon address, they're exactly the same, but the Solana address is different. For now, I'm just going to keep it Solana only. Next, we have display language. Select your language here. In connected apps, this is where we'll see any connected applications. So let me connect an application. This is Tensor.trade. This is where we can buy NFTs. We'll connect our Phantom and connect. Now we're connected and we can go and buy stuff. Let's go back up to Phantom, go into our settings, connected apps, and we can see our connected app here. If you connect to a website that you think is maybe a bad website, the best thing to do immediately is just disconnect. Then after you've disconnected, go back into your settings, select the website, although Tensor.trade is a good website, and then just disconnect. Then the next time we come to this website, we'll have to reconnect all over again. Then we have developer settings. You toggle this if you're ever going to be developing or playing on a dev net, a development net, or a test net. These networks are different to the main net that you'll probably only ever use. We also have Preferred Explorer, and out of these options, I think SolScan is the best. I show you them all briefly in my video on Explorers. This is an Explorer, by the way. This is where you can see all the transactions that happen on the blockchain, publicly available for anybody to see. About Phantom. The terms of service, the privacy policy, and this is where we can visit the website, as well as the version number. And finally, if we click on Help and Support, this will open to help.phantom.app. There's one more setting, Manage Token List. If we have random tokens in here that we don't want to be shown in the wallet, we can just toggle them off. I wouldn't normally toggle that off, but I would toggle off some random coin that was given to me and has no value. Now a couple of other features. This is our wallet balance. It's not our portfolio balance, which we'll cover in another video. It's what Phantom can see as the value of the tokens and coins in our wallet. This data is pulled from CoinGecko.com, and this means in the last 24 hours, the value of our wallet has gone down 5%, almost $7. On other days, this can be green and it will show a positive number. This next tab is for our NFTs. In our tutorial wallet, we have 2 NFTs. These are drips. I'll show you how you can get your own drips for free in the next video. Looking at the NFT, we have lots of information at the bottom. We have another NFT, a mysterious box. This is a scam NFT, which we'll cover in a different tutorial. But sometimes scammers will send you an NFT for free and they want you to click on a link. If we click on this link, it will say you're about to leave Phantom. We would click continue, and this takes us to a scam website. My suggestion is never click on any links in any NFTs. These drips don't even have a link. Instead, just go to Twitter to make sure that it's legitimate. The next tab is a swap tab. This is where we can swap from Solana to USDC or another token. This routes through a protocol called Jupiter, and it gives you the best prices. But be aware that swapping in the application with some routes, such as Solana to USDC, does incur a fee from Phantom of 0.85%. But if I choose this token, Fract, and review, it does not have a swap fee. Not all the tokens have a swap fee. This next tab, the lightning bolt, this is where we can see our recent activity. If we click on a link, we can see all the details, as well as a link to view it on SolScan. Once again, we'll cover this in another tutorial. Finally, sending tokens. If we want to send a token, like Solana, we can click on Solana, and then click send, and then we can paste in the address. If we want to send it to another one of our addresses, we can click on the @ symbol, and we can select which wallet it needs to go to, like this one. Or, back to the address book, we can find Sally Weber. This is the one we added earlier. Here, we can put in the amount, such as 1 Sol. We can also change this USD value, and we can add it as a US dollar amount. If we need to send $5 worth of Sol, we put that in, and this is what it'll show. We then click next, and we click send, and we'll see there's a small network fee, less than a cent. This will take less than 2 seconds. It's already done. And we can look at the transaction on SolScan as well. If we want to send an NFT, we do it the same way. We can take this cool NFT and send, @ symbol, we can send it to this wallet, we can just send it one by one, and we can click send. If we want to receive crypto, just click on deposit, and you can click on anything here. It's the exact same address. If it's Solana, it's the same address compared to if it's Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum on the Solana network, it's the same address. You can just copy the address, send it to the person, and you can also send them the QR code as a screenshot if you like. So that's an in-depth overview with the Phantom wallet. In our next tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can sign up to get free NFTs from Drip. So go watch that video now and get some free NFTs. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.